Art industry news is a daily digest of the most consequential developments coming out of the art world and art market. Here's what you need to know this Monday, May 7th. Need to read: Paris wants to become a refuge for endangered artworks, so declared the city's mayor Anne Hidalgo, who said she envisioned the city as a place where artworks from conflict zones around the world can find a safe haven. While the plan is still being fleshed out, she has entered partnerships with the International Alliance for the Protection of Heritage in Conflict Areas and Crédit Municipal de Paris, which will provide storage facilities. Le Figaro: obviously there is an impact on our reputation. The BBC takes a look at the downfall of Enhidalgo founder Bernardo Paz, the world-class art collector who was sentenced to 9 years in jail after he and his sister were found to be using the fabled Brazilian art site to launder nearly $100 million. Both plan to appeal their convictions. BBC new tapes reveal Francis Bacon's fury over drug bust. In recently unearthed recordings, the artist discusses how, when his lover George Dyer tipped off the police to his own marijuana stash in Bacon's studio in order to have him arrested, the result of a lover's quarrel, the artist angrily went straight to his easel to paint a portrait of Dyer to release some of the tension. Guardian: meet Hamilton. The exhibition, What Do You Get? The Hamilton enthusiast who has everything. Tickets to the new Hamilton exhibition, which debuts in Chicago in November and then will travel to other cities. Developed with input from experts at Yale and Harvard, the show will provide a deeper look into the history behind the record-breaking musical. New York Times: art market. Why is the art world so nostalgic? Sotheby's S2 Gallery, Thomas Dane, and Karamanzetto are all mounting shows dedicated to Signals London, the short-lived 60s gallery that showcased experimental art. The FT's Jan Daly suspects that the art world's current urge to look back is motivated by a nostalgia for simpler, more congenial times. FT: Howard Hodgkins appeased to fund catalog raisonné in order to raise money to produce a scholarly catalog of the late artist's prints and works on paper. Sotheby's London will auction off a suite of works on paper by Hodgkin, each one of which was an artist's proof, reserved by the eminent painter. The art newspaper: early Rockefeller sales skyrockets. It looks like collectors really are willing to pay a premium for the Rockefeller name. Online sales of the family's collection have already surpassed expectations. A 14-karat gold money clip in the shape of Rockefeller Center, estimated to sell for between $800 and $12,000, sold for $26,000 after more than 50 bids. Bloomberg: want to buy North Korean art? You will probably have to go through Pierluigi Ciccione, who has been dealing the material to the west from his home in Pontassieve, a small town in Italy. Since 2005, Ciccione has been ordering works from the massive state-run art studio Mansade in Pyongyang, North Korea, and selling them for between $300 and $7,000. CNN: Cummings Art Forum, curator retires from Vancouver Art Gallery. Senior curator Ian M. Tom will step down in June after 30 years with the Canadian Museum. During his lengthy tenure, he worked on more than 100 exhibitions, including retrospectives of E.J. Hughes and Taka Tanabe. Art Forum, Curatorial Excellence Award winners revealed. The Association of Art Museum Curators announced the 11 recipients of its Award for Excellence, which honors groundbreaking art historical scholarship. Winners include Carmen Bambach for the Met's Michelangelo Drawings exhibition and David France for Axis Mundo, Queer Networks in Chicano, LA, a highlight of Pacific Standard Time, LA. Press release: Honolulu Biennial Foundation names director. Catherine Tudor has been named the inaugural executive director for the Hawaiian Biennial's organizing body. Tudor, who has a background in donor development, grant writing, and financial management, co-founded the Honolulu Biennial Foundation with art critic and curator Isabella Hughes. Art Forum: for art's sake, 3 stolen paintings recovered. Italian investigators have recovered 3 paintings stolen from small museums in Bologna in recent months. Police reviewed security footage and identified a man acting suspiciously near another local museum. They swiftly searched his apartment and found the stolen paintings, including a 1363 portrait of St. Ambrose attributed to Giusto de Menabuoi. Business Insider: Berlin's street art is under threat, as the real estate market in Berlin continues to surge. New housing developments risk covering up some of the city's most iconic street art. Many large-scale, historic pieces occupy entire walls next to empty lots that are now slated for development. Al Jazeera: nudists flock to Paris Museum. That's one way to reach new audiences. The Palais de Tokyo welcomed a group of nudists before opening its doors to the wider public over the weekend. Organizers of the event said they no longer want to restrict their practices to beaches, summertime, or a certain category of the population. Washington Post. Dorothea Rockburn gets her due. The 85-year-old artist, whose work is inspired by both minimalism and higher mathematics, has recreated several of her breakthrough works from the 1960s and 70s for a new show at Dia Beacon. Her work is also the inspiration for a new capsule collection by Cuz. See selections from the line of geometric fashions below. NYT.COS's capsule collection inspired by Dorothea Rockburn. All photos courtesy of Cuz. Follow ArtNet News on Facebook. Want to stay ahead of the art world? Subscribe to our newsletter to get the breaking news, eye-opening interviews, and incisive critical takes that drive the conversation forward.